Today's sutra is about the rest of us. The last sutra was about the Tivra Samveganam, who has a supremely vigorous and intense practice. So the goal of samadhi is near for them. And then there's us mere mortals. So Sutra 122 is Mirdu Madhya Dimatrat Vat Pi Visheshaha. And Guruji's commentary is there are differences between those who are mild, average, and keen in their practices. So that's the Mirdu, Madhya. Madhya sounds like middle. In fact, Madhya Pradesh, have you heard of that state in India called Madhya Pradesh? And Pradesh is country, Madhya is middle. So it means middle country. It's in the middle. It's a huge, big state, agrarian mostly. So Mirdu is like mud, muck, the base. And Adimatra is, intense, another intense. So it's similar to a Tivra Samveganam. Guruji further says that the goal of yoga is near or far, according to one's eagerness and efforts. And Taimni says that what may be considered intense by yogi at one stage of evolution may appear moderate to another who is more highly advanced and actuated by greater intensity of desire. And it was kind of funny to me, this commentary, because I think of people who call me up and say, I'd like to be in your advanced class or take your teacher training. And I'm like, have you studied Iyengar Yoga? Oh, no, but I've done a lot of yoga for a couple of years now with a video. So, maybe they think they're advanced, but then if they are at the feet of their real teacher, they may find out they're not. Or even in my own experience, I had practiced for 5 years before going to Pune and study with Guruji, and man, did he yell at me for being a raw beginner that I had no business being there. So, you think you're one thing and you're not. So you might be in a state of viparya, which is knowledge based on something that's not true. And then Brian says, he cites Shankara, who says the purpose of this sutra is to fortify the enthusiasm of the practitioner. The mild in this sutra describes those who are still merged with Prakriti in 119, the sutra we did earlier. So it was still like a supported samadhi. The mediocre, that's the middle, Madhya, refers to those practicing faith, Shraddha, Virya, remember that sutra? Faith alone, you can go further in your practice, and that was described in 120. And the ardent, as mentioned in the previous sutra, who are near the goal. So all these sutras are really identifying pathways to the goal of yoga. And what's interesting is the sutras that are coming, I think there's 6 or 7 of them, they're all on God. The next sutras, in fact, there's more sutras on God that are following this one that we'll go through. And there's only 3 sutras. Well, there's also the one that lists asana, but there's only 3 sutras about asana. And there's 6 or 7 about God that we'll start to cover, because that's another path. Because if you just totally surrender, that you're not attached anymore, to your desires, that's another way to reach samadhi quickly.
Is it important to know where you stand in terms of being like Mirdu and...
Well, teacher will tell you that.
But I mean, is it
yes, because
more important to just put your nose to the grindstone and look at the next step that you have to take?
Well, you think you're putting your nose to the grindstone. I go to Pune every year and Guruji tells me that it's not enough. That you think you're doing, but you're not. But that's why you study, because it's not. So putting your nose to the grindstone to tick off what your practice is, that's totally mirdu, mirdu, mirdu. Not just to, put your, like you're imitating, saying put your nose to the grindstone and you're making little marks. It's not like you have your piece of paper, you have your syllabus, or you have your sequence and you're going to practice it. That's just very basic. We're all just mirdu. We're mirdu, mirdu, mirdu.
You are not. Come on.
No, I'm just Mirdu as well. It's all relative, isn't it? Like that one comment that it's like you may think I'm not, but I know I'm not. I know I'm not because I have a great teacher who tells me I'm not. And it's fine because it does make me work harder. I do work harder. And it's like, oh my God, my back knee really isn't straight. How come my consciousness isn't telling me that? That means my consciousness is not spreading. If I think it's one way, but it's not. Okay, Dandasan. Sutra 122 is Mirduma Diya Dimatrat Vatato Pi Visheshaha. And Guruji's commentary is there are differences between those who are mild, average, and keen in their practices. So Mirdu is like mud, muck, the base. And Adimatra is, intense. I'm just Mirdu as well. It's all relative, isn't it? Like that one comment that it's like you may think I'm not, but I know I'm not. I know I'm not because I have a great teacher who tells me I'm not. And it's fine because it does make me work harder.